health care providers, doctors, healers, massage therapists, acupuncturists, surgeons, chiropractors, physical therapists, and anyone who brings health and vitality to others, you're in the right place. Oh my gosh, I have studied this long and worked this much time, and there's so much more to health and wellness, and I can actually use it to help build my business. I can use it to even help my family and my own life. Yeah, sign me up. This is too cool. And that was my experience when I returned to doing personal development work. I have with me Dr. Mayre. Can you please introduce yourself?
Thank you, Michael. Yeah, I am Dr. Mayre. I'm a chiropractor and I'm focused more with pregnancy and kids. And there was a point in my life that I was looking for more ways of helping people and getting their health to the next level, and finding consciousness, finding quantum leap technique helped me vastly with my patients, my kids, my husband, overall my life. It changed completely my life to a new set of lens of what healing and wellness truly means.
And we're here with her husband, Dr. Adam. Can you please introduce yourself?
When I first became a chiropractor years ago, one of the base premises that we talk about is the origins of stress. And chiropractors like to explain that physical, chemical, and emotional stresses help us get to the core of the issue of the patient. But I was realizing through the years of practice that people were coming back with the same issues. People were talking about stressful lifestyles and different things that are affecting them. And here I am getting to the root cause, or at least I thought, with chiropractic. And through the years, what I've come to realize is that we weren't getting to the cause. We thought we were, but there's a deeper cause that we're going to talk about today.
Health and wellness and fitness is really my first love. I've spent a good majority of my life pushing the envelope, learning and growing with different exercise techniques, different nutritional approaches, different healing approaches, if only for myself, and many times sharing that as a trainer. I got a biology degree and thought I was going to go and maybe do something like Mayre and Adam, and then life took me a different direction. At the same time, it's been a strong passion of mine, and it was absolutely revolutionary for me to see the depth with which our experience can be revealed through the body. I also love languages and learning body language, and like, oh my gosh, these things that are happening to me, I can do something with this. This is actually something I can interpret and then shift. Really cool stuff we're going to get into. I think we could probably all agree, us on the call and everybody watching, that the state of health in America and much of the world is much less solid and vibrant than it could be.
The frame of healthcare in the United States is so far off base right now that I believe it's because we've been looking in all the wrong places. We've been looking on the outer to heal something that starts on the inner. Originally, I thought that there were only 3 levels of stresses that we work with as providers: physical, chemical, and emotional. Physical's fairly easy. Accidents, traumas, chronic, acute, habits, ergonomics, and how do you deal with those physical things? The physical modalities: chiropractic, orthopedic, physical therapy, on and on. And then chemical: what chemicals have you been exposed to, and how do we get them out of the body? As clear as that, right? And then you have emotional. It's like, emotional. How does that affect my health? And we'll even take it another level here on this call today. We're going to bring spiritual into the mix. Energetic, spiritual. Now, you've heard of energetic modalities, energy around the body. Well, we're talking a little bit deeper. We're talking about the spirit. We're talking about the soul, the inner energy. Chiropractors out there may call this innate intelligence. There's another level that we have tapped into to get deeper results and to reach the patient more deeply, further, to help them with their issues. When people are coming to our office and we're addressing the basic 4 reasons for stress with that person, if we're not addressing the soul spirit part, really we're missing the whole point. It's everything starts in the mind. We're starting to get to the point to realize that the outer therapies are helpful to a degree. But if we're going to make transformative change, it all starts inside. It all starts with the mind, the spirit, the energy first. So finding out a way to decipher and understand what's happening with your patient is huge. It's the basis, I'm saying, of how to treat that person and how to have long-lasting results.
When we say spiritual, as Adam pointed out, it's a little different than that context of religiosity. We're talking about different than just praying and things of that nature. We're talking about the very substance that is us before we incarnate and after we depart this planet. It probably has a hand, at least a little hand, in how I'm feeling and how my body's interacting. It's a big part of me. Some would say it's most of us. And so addressing that, incorporating that, I just welcome you to open up the realm of possibility. Yes, these other facets are still really important. At the same time, by incorporating the spirit and the soul, we can create massive impact and massive transformation. How can you increase your healing capacity? Dr. Myrie, tell me, what is one principal aspect of our work that can immediately start producing results for doctors and healthcare providers?
So biggest one, words, language. Words have power, lots of power. Every time we speak, we are creating our world. So to hear our patients come in and giving all this free information, because as they speak, I can feel where they are at. And as they speak, I can notice that maybe that stress or that pain from the shoulder is not the shoulder really. It's something deeper that person is experiencing. And that's the way the body is saying, okay, look, like there is a pain, but if you look deeper, you can find really the root of the real stress, which we're saying here, it's more of a soul, that innate intelligence. So the words that they say and the energy behind the words. So for example, I had a patient that came in talking all nuts. I can't, I shouldn't, I wouldn't. It was what we call the language of death. Once I told her or showed her what she was talking and how those words were producing more of what she was coming into the office, again, that light bulb went off and we started changing words step by step. And the more she did the work, the more she embodied it, right? What the words were creating for her and for her family. So as she's changed words, she was also into anxiety meds. So we changed the words and she by herself, because that is out of my scope of saying, don't take more pills. But she even came saying, I don't need my anxiety pills. I don't even need to go to my psychologist, because her mom was the one paying for her visits. So she changed the psychologist for us, because she felt that we're addressing the physical, why the pain, yeah, that goes away, but also the mental aspect, the peace that I brought to her life. She's happier with her life, her job, her family. I mean, she's a whole new person, and she still comes because like she knows every time she comes here, it's like more life. We're giving her the chance of getting more light to her life. And that is beautiful when you can provide that as a healthcare provider, when you can provide more than just an adjustment and deal with the physical pain, but then the person say, yeah, I'm out of my meds. How cool is that?
words coming out of my mouth are energetic. We're all energy. So I'm putting an energetic force into the world with my words. It is going to come back in one way or the other. If I'm speaking negative to a patient and saying, like, don't do this, pretty simple, right? Stop doing this, don't do that. I wouldn't do that. Common phrases that doctors say, yet they don't know they're actually putting a negative energy towards caring for that person. So a simple upgrade in the language and in the intention of what's happening can be astronomical, can be huge. And I'll give an example to that real quick. If someone comes in and you ask them, how are they doing? Typical answer, yeah, I'm not doing that bad. Cool, he's doing better. Great. Did he really say he's doing better? Or did he say he's not doing that bad? If you ask me where I'm going today and I say, not Texas, did I really tell you anything? So what am I creating by speaking something that isn't even real?
Not is one of many words which are indicating to us what's really happening inside a person. And that knot for me is like literally tying a knot. And imagine a body full of knots. Another piece I'd like you to speak to, Dr. Mayre, because this is an interesting one, is the diagnosis. Quite common in many, many, many health fields to say, you have this, you have that.
That's giving the condition power, because now you're not you're that condition. So for example, fibromyalgia, that's literally pain in your muscles. They didn't know what else to find, or they didn't know what else to say, well, you have pain in all your body. And that's something that, okay, yes, we can see the fibromyalgia, but how can we get out of here? And where is this pain coming from, really? Let's go back into your infancy. Let's go back into your mom and dad. Like, maybe your experiences and traumas are stored so much in your body that produces this pain overall. So as a provider, if I can go look deeper into, okay, it is this condition, but there can be something extra, there can be something else as to why they are experiencing this pain all over the body. And that's when, my care, it's different, because you're coming for something. Yes, I hear you. And let's go deeper and see why, where is this coming from? Because I believe, it says in research, right? Every disease is produced of stress. If I'm stressed, then I'll get disease. So if I'm not stressed, then the disease probably will go away. So then where are those, where are those stresses really coming from? Is it the body, or is it your mind? Is it the trauma that you were when you were 3 years old? Just as simple as your mom saying, you can't do this, that creates shame or hate or blame into that little kid that now 40 years later, it's in pain because they didn't know how to deal with those emotions.
As doctors, as practitioners, we're trained to identify a diagnosis, to fit someone into a box. But that's what it is. We're also fitting our own ability to heal and help that person into a box. We might as well be a robot. Might as well be, well, you're with fibromyalgia, so this is what we do with it, and step, have a nice day. No. Are we really changing anything? Or are we just playing a game of, well, you have a condition and this is what I'm supposed to do? Are there more layers? Are there deeper levels to help the person? Yes. And the first step to doing that is seeing the person as a whole. Let's say they're diagnosed with cancer and they've been given a 6-month time frame. So that's who the person is now. They're cancer and they have 6 months. Done. They're no longer John Smith. They're no longer an energetic being that had something going on that the body's trying to tell them about of a deeper root cause of the cancer, sometimes people can just jump right into the diagnosis and then that's who they are. What if they're misdiagnosed? What if it's a nocebo? What if they're given a diagnosis to turn around and say, wow, we read the wrong report? What does that mean to that person? So as a practitioner, I feel if it's kept at the surface level of looking at a diagnosis, at a condition, I'm missing so much information of true healing, of true growth for the person. And honestly, to resolve the condition. There's a lot of people out there that once they're diagnosed, that's it. Mentally, they can't even imagine being without it. That's who they are. That's who they be. They are fibromyalgia, like Myra said. So wouldn't it behoove you, or wouldn't it be a higher place to start and say, hey, Mr. Smith, I see you as a person. And yes, you have this diagnosis, but we're going to work with you to bring your healing back. We're going to work with you to bring your life back and your energy back. And yes, you can beat this diagnosis. Sometimes when you say that to people, they're shocked, as if like you didn't agree with the medical world about my diagnosis and my treatment. No, maybe I didn't. Let's look at deeper level here. Intention and seeing the person as a person, not a statistic, not a number, not a diagnosis, but as a person. You're giving the universe and that person and myself the ability to heal and changing the person's life to such a grand level. Like Henry Ford said, people that believe they can and people that believe they can't, they're both right. So as a doctor or a practitioner or a healer or whoever you are, what do you believe is possible? Because you're right. So do you see the diagnosis? Is that person done before they even step into your office or your location? Or do you see the possibility of miracles? Do you see the possibility of the quantum field, the possibility that there is a deeper core cause to what's happening to the person? Why don't we address the cause other than addressing the symptom or the diagnosis?
I love working with pregnancy. So when women at the end, they're scared, they're fearful, or every time they go to their OBs, they put more fear because today is your blood pressure, tomorrow is your sugar, the next day. So when they come to my office, I'm always empowering them to visualize your birth. What is your perfect birth? Like imagine, like you can do this. I've had 4 kids myself. So I know the struggle, the fear, the doubt that women can have. And if they're coming here for me to keep saying, oh, this can happen, then I know that's going to be like a less than optimal birth when it actually happens. So all the time throughout my adjustment, I am saying, connect with baby, because babies are making memories inside you. So like really, really, really trying to take them together of you're pregnant, but really you're bringing a soul to this earth. I had a patient that she would say their OBs were, I have high blood pressure and that can go into preeclampsia and it's a difficult birth. Every time she would come here, I would take the blood pressure and her blood pressure was fine. It was awesome. Every time she would go to the OB, it was through the roof because I was here speaking life, giving her, encouraging, empowering her of our own power of giving birth. And yet in the other place, it was all talking death, high blood pressure, preeclampsia, C-section, emergency. So my goal always with pregnant women is to give them that empower them. And that's how I see awesome results with women then writing humongous emails saying how thankful they are. They have hope. They are encouraged. They're like, now I feel empowered. Now I have energy. Now I can go and for walks. So it's very powerful when you are just feeding that person with loving, powerful light.
On to our next point, which is a really interesting one. most people talk about it and look at it and see it and feel it as something bad. We got to get rid of this disease. We got to get rid of this illness and F this illness and F that illness. And we got to fight against this. And this is terrible. What is that doing?
So when we make disease wrong, we are perpetuating that wrongness in our life. Or if we're hating this disease because why did it happen to me, then you're going to keep bringing more and more hate because of the words. But instead, if we can see why is this disease here, get like to the blessings of why I'm getting this. And a perfect example is a fever, right? Kids, people have fevers. That's a blessing. That's your body working to kill whatever it's in there that needs to, right, to get rid of. But the fever is not bad. That's not a bad thing. As the same thing with other diseases. They are not bad things that happen. Maybe they are your wake-up call to something new. But when you get with providers that can see it into a deeper level, because again, if you stay with those that are like, okay, you have this is wrong, you're gonna die in 3 months, then you'll probably die in 3 months. But if we can go deeper into, okay, you have this, let's work with this, but also let's work with your emotional, spiritual, soul level, then let's find the blessings. Why is this disease here for me? What is the learning? What is the teaching that is bringing to my attention? That's how our subconscious talks to us, through our body, through our pains and aches, through our disease. So it's there for you to wake you up to something new. So if you're here, doctor, massage therapy, acupuncturist, you can do it into a deeper level. You can get those diseases and understand what the root cause of that disease in a mind level is, and then help your patient on how to go higher than the disease.
How many times have you heard someone who went through a major trauma, an accident, they weren't able to work, it caused a rift with a specific man or woman, but then you talk to them some months later after they've gone through this ordeal and they say, oh my gosh, it was a huge blessing. I finally saw what I was doing in my relationship. I finally saw that this job wasn't serving me. Gosh, I've been doing this for 10 years and it's been 9 years too long or a year too long. And it was because I had to stop that I was finally able to see this wasn't for me. And that I was postponing my dreams. I was sacrificing and conforming my ideals and values. I wasn't with my kids. That's kind of common when people have the time to reflect. Now imagine, that's what's always happening, potentially, that blessing is coming on the plate of discomfort, of a pain, illness, injury, and that all of those can be translated. There's a blessing, there's a message, there's a lesson in every single one, big and small. Dr. Adam, how much would that change people's lives to understand that?
Oh, it changes everything. And right now in our world, being sick is almost criminal, where it's like, oh, have you got it? Have you got it? Don't be sick. Even the word sickness, Michael, it's not accurate. Throwing up, your body's trying to cleanse from something happening. A fever, it's cleansing. Diarrhea, cleansing. Your body's trying to clean. So spring cleaning, good thing. Body sick, not good thing? How is that even possible? It's a great thing. Your body is purging. It is helping itself.
And I can speak for myself when I'd say, I am so empowered to recognize that my scratches, my bumps, my headaches, my being laid up from an illness is all portals and pathways into greater possibility. They all have a message for me. I get something happens. I'm like, ooh, good. Something's coming through. Big lesson. I've been missing out. And my body must be talking to me. Totally different. Totally different feeling for me. And can imagine that everyone comes into your practice, your hospital, your center, your spa, wherever you are, and you're with that response. Oh, cool. Your back's tight. Oh, wow, this broke. This means something's good's going to happen. Get on the table or get in the chair or whatever. Let's talk about it. I mean, imagine the difference in the demeanor of everyone walking in if that's what they're going to receive. And then the amount of blessings that are going to come from that when they recognize, yes, I'm going to resolve this discomfort. And I'm going to come out with an amazing lesson about life. Just people are going to be lined up down the street.
In my experience too, I've always dealt with low iron, right? Low levels of iron. And that's can be dangerous for women that are giving birth. After doing all this work, I've been doing it for almost 3 years now. This is the first sign that my iron is high in my pregnancy. So, and I was taking, the orange juice, the iron supplement, you name it, I was trying it all. And something cool happened. I was like, wow, my iron levels have never been this high. And I do attribute everything to my love for life now, because blood means life, right? I was hating life. Now that I love my life, I love my kids, I love my practice, I love my husband, my iron levels are high. So that's like a perfect example of how, you can treat the body with supplements, vitamin adjustment and all, but if your soul, mental is not aligned with it, you're still gonna struggle. So it can't be like a momentarily relief, but really, where is the long lasting effects from true healing?
That first connection with your new client, new patient is super important. And what's the most important part? Getting as much information as we can. Patients don't always want to share everything, whether it's something emotional, whether it's something traumatic, whether they just want to see if you can figure it out and they're not telling you what's happening on purpose. Choose to know why that happens. But a lot of times people come in and they're a little closed. They're a little, I'll answer this question, but I won't tell them about that. Or maybe I'm afraid that I have an illness going on and I don't want to even know that I'm sick. So I'm just going to talk about my headache. That's all that matters. So as a practitioner, the word piece and the body language piece is so important. And the fact that people don't need to tell me that they have anxiety. I can hear it in the words. People don't need to tell me that they have a stressful relationship going on. When they slap their legs, I can tell that relationships are a stress. Or people don't need to tell me that they don't feel supported in life. They have low back pain. So I already know that they don't feel supported. It's more of my task to help them realize that support is one of the issues going on and a core reason for what they're experiencing.
You can decipher and discern and decode what the body is saying and assist the people that you work with to find exactly what lesson, message, and sign is coming through.
The brain has a conscious part and a subconscious part. The subconscious one, we're not able to control, because that the conscious part is the one that we're speaking right now. But everything else is done by your subconscious. And that's the way the subconscious can talk to us through the body. Because again, you don't need to think about digesting food or your heart beating. Same thing. You don't need to think about, when pain comes up, then why? Body language, again, it's going fast to the root of the root of the root of the root. So words and now the body language. When you have both combined, it's beautiful to see really what's going on with that person, because they are telling you all this information. They are touching here, scratching there, which all has a meaning. I can go right straight to ask a simple question that will bring sometimes a lot of emotion, sometimes crying, sometimes, oh, how do you know that?
I'm a people watcher. And once you learn how the body moves dynamically, you can watch people and say, okay, that shoulder's not moving properly, that left hip is up. And now learning the deeper understanding of body communication, I can ask a patient a question and the body answers before they even start talking. So the body is always giving cues or clues into what's happening with the person, like Dr. Cruz said, subconsciously, whether they realize it or not. The body is always a reflection of what's happening. People know what's going on with their bodies to a sense, right? If they're not taking care of themselves, they know that they may be gaining a little weight, or that their posture sloped down, or they have different issues. But do they know that the pain under their foot represents something specific? Do they know that their headaches represent something specific? Do they know that by choosing which side of the body, right means one thing, left means something else? Certain parts of the body can give, every part of the body can give a deeper understanding to what's happening with that person. Because honestly, most people are so superficial with what's happening that the body signals just go right past them. And they think, well, this is my pillow, right? My neck hurts because of my pillow. Maybe it may be a burden in your life. It may be something emotional that's going on.
The body is always talking. In addition to what someone may be struggling with stress-wise and emotionally, the bodies also reveal limiting thought patterns, belief systems, ways of seeing life. The body is sharing information. It's like saying, hey, we've held this belief system long enough. We've held this trauma long enough, this emotion long enough. It's time to move it. To get to your next level of greatness, I am going to show you what is ready to heal. And on top of that, being able to then find the blessing and the ability to grow from the situation. Whoa, oh my gosh, you mean I can find hidden talents, skills, and traits through the body language? Yup. We can discern and discover together with someone a latent potential. So imagine that, moving from getting rid of illness to having an office of finding latent potential, skills, love, joy, and celebration. Hello, how many people are going to that office? Quite a lot of people going to that office. And that's what we love to do, is share these tools with you so that you can bring these to your community. So, Dr. Adam, we have spoken a bunch about what this work does for our patients. Tell me how these shifts impact a practice.
So I'm going to give it twofold here. One, when I first started practicing, I had so many fears and so much stuff going on that I didn't even realize how badly I was affecting my practice and the practice members and my community. I was scared to death. I was scared to be a professional, and people loved me. But now, years later, talking to them and revisiting those early years, they say things like, yeah, we could see the stress. We could see that it was affecting you. So I was blind to how my own personal stresses were affecting my business. And then as I started to do the work, as I started to go in, work on my language, started to have more ease and more love. I started to enjoy going to the office. I started to love my life. The practice did better. We made more money. My relationship with my wife got better. Now I'm on the other side of the coin. I'm happy to be at work. I'm happy to be a doctor. I'm happy to see lots and lots of people. So how does this work help me now? I've transcended. I love life. I feel it's what makes us special. It's what makes our office unique. No one around here is doing this work. Very limited people, if any. How many practitioners are going into the language and the body language and bringing attention to the energetic soul perspective, empowering their patients instead of telling them what's wrong with them? I believe that we have something to offer. I know we have something to offer that no one else around does. And it's so beautiful, because as I share with patients, I grow myself. And I believe now we can go anywhere in the world. We can do anything we need to because of the inner knowing that it all comes from me.
In the business sense, sometimes we are like, oh, what are we going to do for this marketing? Or what are we going to do for the next prize giving away? What are we going to do for the next review? What are we going to do? Well, once I work for myself, people come, the telephone is ringing. Like, you don't need to put that much effort in marketing because you're putting so much love outside and so much encouraging and empowerment to your people that your people will take that charge and say, no, you need to visit Dr. Myra because there's something different in that office. Patients have said it. I walk in and it feels so nice here. The energy is so great. Like, they don't even need to be adjusted. They're already feeling better without us putting hands on them. So what awesome outcome to have for me as a practitioner, because I am in love with health. I love seeing people thriving and, giving that empowerment. So what better? What is better than people showing up without any type of marketing? With people showing up, feeling better with us putting any pills or surgery or even our hands, right, to adjust. So in a business sense, as it transformed my life, it transformed my business with so much fun and ease. People are craving this next level of health. Like we mentioned in the beginning, the state of health is sick right now, right? It's not going like we are anticipating. So what better, how awesome would be that more practitioners, more people that are taking care of the health and wellness can tap into this other deeper level of health and true happiness and love and this beautiful love for life. So even this ease, we are bringing ease back to their life.
These tool sets, understood and used for the empowerment of others, language, body language, the transformational art, and also our eye talk, which enables us to read the language inside the eye, are game changers when it comes to the level that you can serve and what you can offer and the depth of impact that you can have on every person who comes into your office, and the ability for you to have fun and create abundance while you do it. Yeah, it might sound like a lot. Trust me, it's true. For those who commit, who make the commitment and say, yes, I'm going to be open. I'm going to be open to something new. I can do this. And I'm going to expand what I'm doing for the good of the people that I serve, for the good of myself and my family. It can transform your practice. You can transform your practices. Ultimately, it's up to you. Thanks for watching.